just pretty much hopeless is how I was feeling.
And I mean, you definitely turned it around doing 13,000 this month.
You went from assistant coach to hiring an assistant coach in the last few months. You went from being one to hiring one.
Someone who has gone through programs and spent, 20K plus on programs that didn't get me anything. If you were to invest in a program, this is the one to invest in. I've been through them all. And I don't trust anybody anymore, and I'll probably be here a while. So yeah, I cried a lot. I thanked God a lot. And I don't know, it was just it was exactly what John promised, honestly. Like, he just kind of painted the picture for me, and I think that belief, like your guys' belief in me.
So, Faith, first things first, the big question. How much money were you making before you started working with us? I know you sent me that I can clip in the clip that you sent me the other day.
January, February. This is so sad. Okay, I signed on with you in July. So this is how much I made in July. And then first month working with you, second month. I had some PayPal payments, October, and then PayPal, inflow on Wave. But I also had 2 PayPal payments, so, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, probably less than 2,000 a month.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think your biggest month on there was like 1,500, right?
Yeah, I wasn't really selling too much, obviously. But yeah, wasn't getting anywhere. So that wasn't fun.
Okay, cool. And then first week with us, you came on, you joined in August. I think you joined like the last week of July. But I think like the first week of August was like when you started getting things going. As soon as that ad kicked on, like you made 2 sales that first week. I think it was 2, right?
Yeah, it was 2 painfuls, so it was 3,000 that week.
Crazy. And then what was the first month? What did you do August, the first month with us?
I believe it was just under 4,500.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So literally went from 1,500 biggest month to 4,500 right off the bat. Crazy.
Yeah.
John, I'm gonna let you take over this one. I'm curious what your experience was with other programs, because I know you had joined some other programs before. You had spent a lot of money, and we don't have to name names or significant amounts of money unless you want to, but we don't have to. And I'm kind of curious, John, if you want to take that one.
Yeah, I mean, Faith, I onboarded you. I took your sales call, so it's very emotional for me to see you grow into this wonderful flower of a businesswoman. When we first talked, you had been through the ringer with so many different programs that made you all these promises and didn't deliver, unfortunately, which we hear a lot in this industry today. Kind of just go in depth for me, like what were your experiences before joining us? Like what promises were made to you that didn't deliver on? What methods were they talking about? Like just go deep for anybody watching this so they can avoid the mistakes you went through before getting here.
Yeah, I guess the first thing is a lot of business coaches that I worked with in the past were just like mindset focused and manifestation and that kind of stuff, which obviously as a Christian, that's not something I should be dabbling in anyway. But it was very much like, it's all about your energy and how you show up and that side of things. But it was no strategy. Like, how can I scale though? Like, what's the sales strategy? What's this strategy? Like, they helped me with sales calls a little bit and getting a script, but that was pretty much the only strategy that I had. And so, yeah. And then I had another one that I invested like $10,000 into. And it was group coaching. It was a group coaching model, but obviously I tried to give as much effort into it as I could, but I just didn't really see a change with that either, because what I was learning with the ads, or she was teaching ads, but it was very confusing. There was little to no like hands-on help, obviously, because it was group coaching. But I never felt like I got genuine help from a coach. Like it was just kind of like, here's the thing, good luck, instead of, no, this is how it actually works. And I think the difference I noticed between Six Figure Fit and what I did before is, first of all, you guys care a lot about me and my business and about everyone that you work with. But also, you make sure that the strategies that I implement will actually work for me. And if they don't, then you give me a different strategy so that it will work. So it's not like you don't just give me one strategy, even though it worked anyway. If it didn't, I know you would have given me something else. So yeah, I just kind of felt alone, but also I just felt like I was spending a lot of money and obviously not making anything back because there was no way to market properly. I was doing only organic marketing as well. I tried ads, but they just weren't working. Like the strategy wasn't there. So that was kind of, I know, all over the place, but there were lots of different things I went through before you guys.
Yeah,
So-
and to kind of touch on like what was your experience with organic? Because I know that's a big thing today with a lot of people that are in our program we talk to, are like they're sold the dream on that. Kind of what was your experience with that?
In the beginning, when I first started my business in like 2016, 2017, obviously that was working. But it turned out to be like I wasn't getting in the algorithm, it was super confusing to keep track of. And I was getting no messages, like nothing. Even when I was promoting like daily on my stories, which is what I was taught to do before, like sell every single day kind of a thing. It'd be like maybe one lead a week, if that. So nothing pretty much is what I consider it to be.
And you've been lacking on the content now too, and even the ads are still doing the work. She texted me this morning. She's like, dude, I already got like 10 messages, and she just started the ad like 2 days ago. She got 10 inbound leads in like 2 days, and it just launched. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. I think I've only spent like $35 on that DM ad. So it was only a day and a half by the time I got all of that. But yeah, yeah.
Like mentally, what were you going through before you kind of before we started showing you like the right ways of things and like giving you that to help? I know it couldn't be easy.
Yeah, well, before I ended up working like as an assistant coach for somebody that I knew. And I was only getting paid like $1,600 a month to do that. And then, but I was taking on like a full-time client load, so that's a different story. But I don't know. I just felt like I really wanted it, but I just felt like I couldn't do it because I've tried all of the things, I've been in this business for 5 or 6 years, there's nothing else I could possibly be missing, for doing it for as long as I have. How am I not successful? So then I had the thought pattern of, well, maybe it's not for me and maybe I can't do it. I see people, all over the internet hitting their 10K month and all of those things that I've been dreaming of for 3 years, and like, why not me? So honestly, when I hopped on the call with you, John, I was just kind of like, yeah, we'll just see what he has to say. And, at least give me some hope or point me in the right direction. Yeah, just pretty much hopeless is how I was feeling.
And I mean, you definitely turned it around doing 13,000 this month after going back and forth for a while with everything else you did. To touch on that, just to kind of toot my own horn a little bit, how'd you feel about what you learned in sales compared to the other places?
I pretty much copycatted exactly how you sold me. But no, it was definitely like sales before was more, I guess, rigid, if you will, like follow this script, say these things, versus now I literally, like, I have your framework pulled up every time I take a sales call, but I never look at it anymore. Now it's just a conversation, just like, yeah, talking to them, asking about their past experiences, how they feel, and then showing them my framework, and it pretty much works every time. Like, it's very rare for it to not work for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think your closing rates, you said it was like what, 60, 70%? I think you said right around there, which is awesome.
Yeah. I'd say closer to 70% for sure. And honestly, if they don't close, it's literally because they just simply don't have money at all. Even if we find options for them to have money, like they'll apply for like PayPal credit or whatever, they'll get denied, and but other than that, it pretty much works every time. So it's totally different.
That's awesome. I'm curious how that, after, to use the vocabulary you said, hopelessness, how did that feel to hit your first 10K month? Because I know the goal for December was 10K and you beat it by 34% at 13.4. And so what was the drastic difference in the feeling between where you were at a few months ago and then where you're at now?
As you guys know, I bawled. I cried. even before I hit it, because I was at like 7.7 or something like that. And I was like, I'm gonna hit it this month. And that like hit me. And I was like, holy crap, I'm not there yet, but I'm hitting it, And that was a feeling that I've never had before. Like, I thought hitting 5K was a big deal like literally 3 months ago. So it's like just wild, and now that I've hit it though, it's like that feels like the floor more than the ceiling,
You won't
because now
accept
20K.
anything less than.
Yes, pretty much. So yeah, I cried a lot. I thanked God a lot. And I don't know, it was just like it was exactly what John promised, honestly. Like, he just kind of painted the picture for me, and I think that belief, like your guys' belief in me, helped me a lot, but I think that it was just a combination of things, I guess. Just the way you guys do things for me, like logistically, you see it more as like it's literally math. Like, don't overthink it, just do it, kind of a thing. And that's what I've been needing, because I've always been told like it's your energy, it's how you show up, and it's like the way you taught me was like, no, it's literally a numbers game. You can grow this easily, and this is how. And now it makes sense. So I think now that it makes sense, like reaching any goal doesn't feel impossible anymore. It feels like, duh, like why wouldn't I hit that?
That's cool. And speaking of numbers, how much did you spend this month on ads?
Like December?
Yeah. Or sorry, yeah, December.
I think it was less than 1,000.
Because you're running.
I can't remember.
You're running one. I think that other ad got shut off, so you're just running one ad.
Yep.
And it was $20 a day, so I think it's like $600.
Yeah.
That's John. What is the return on that?
I got my calculator. How much spent and how much did she make?
13.4 divided by $600, or maybe the other way around. I don't remember which way to divide it.
$22 for every dollar you spent, so you got a 22 ROAS, return on ad spend. The average is 2 to 3 in the space. Our students average 4 to 6, but you decided to be an overachiever.
Yeah.
So let's do the math. If you got a 22 return on ad spend, if we decided to spend 10% of what you made this month, 1,340 times 22, you should make $29,480. But if you decide to spend maybe 5,000 on ads, because it's just money, right? And you got a 22, you'd make $110,000 in a month.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's
So,
10. we got to increase.
we got to increase.
So Well, with that new DM ad, that'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. Getting $3 messages.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yep. It is cool. So it'll be, yeah, I'm already doubling my ad spend. So we'll just see where it takes me. But I have 3 calls on the books tomorrow. So I'm hoping our goal is to get, she originally said 20 calls booked, but I think we can definitely do more than that now with having more than one ad.
Sure. Sure.
And hiring an assistant coach, which I'm so excited about.
You went from assistant coach to hiring an assistant coach in the last few months. You went from being one to hiring one. That's
It
wild.
doesn't feel real. It's so weird.
Describe how it feels to know that now you're going to have your own employee when only a few months ago you were struggling to know what you were going to do, and you just made $13,000 in 1 month.
All I can say is like, is this my life? I've been saying that like all day out loud just by myself. Like, wait, is this happening to me? Am I sure? Am I in the Matrix? When is it all going to crumble? Even though I know it's not. It's a tiny fear. It's not the forefront fear now. It's more like back there. But I don't know. It's always been my goal to like provide jobs for people. That's like my sole, not like my only purpose with what I do. Of course, I want to impact women's lives and change lives in that way. But I also wanted to be able to like hire my friends and like Kayla, for example. I'm already helping her potentially get out of her teaching job. Like cool things like that where she's able to, you know, do the things she wants to do in life, like travel more and work on her own schedule. And like, it's just surreal that this is something that I created because of you guys. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be here without taking that step either.
Yeah, but of
So-
course, I mean, you're the one, well, we appreciate it, but of course, you're the one who put in the work. And if we can
Sure.
get a little bit tactical here, coming to a close, I'm kind of curious, like, what is it? Like I have a few tactical questions for the people who are watching this that are like, okay, but what does it actually take? So what do you think, if you could say like one thing was the missing key that allowed you to scale your business? Like not our program, but like just in general, like the missing key. Like what was the one thing that allowed you to grow from, you know, to 10x your business? I mean, essentially you went 10x in a matter of months. What is it that allowed you to do that?
I think if I counted down from 3, we could all say it at the same time, but it's spending money on ads.
That was the answer that I was thinking that you were going to say, but I wasn't sure because of all your other mindset coaches if you were going to say I had a killer mindset. It was a possibility. No. There was a 50-50 shot.
I have a question, Faith, before we come to
Yeah.
a close. For all those people, because we get a ton of people DM us every day who don't believe what you did was real. I mean, I just got yelled at the other day for telling somebody what you did was real, which is crazy, but hey, God bless. So those people who are relying on organic marketing, who have been in other programs like you have and sold a dream to just get very little, if not anything at all, and are just still trying to find their win, their time to win, kind of like, what would you say to those people to kind of help push them in the right direction?
Honestly, don't be afraid to take a chance on yourself, is what I would say. And you're only going to stay in the same spot if you keep repeating the same patterns. It's the definition of insanity, just doing the same thing over and over, not getting anywhere. So yeah, like if you don't start investing in your business, it's going to stay stagnant. That's like the biggest thing that I've learned of it's worth spending the money to make the money, because you're always going to make more as long as you put in the work. Like, of course, you have to show up, you have to do the sales calls, you have to get your sales process down, you have to have a good program, you have to be a good coach. Like, there's a lot of layers to it, but it all comes down to you believing in yourself and believing that it's possible for you too. There's the mindset.
So to those people who've also been in the same situation we just described, if they were looking at joining our program, and we don't want to convince somebody to do it. If it's right for them, it's right for them. What would you say to those people who are kind of on the fence compared to the experiences you've had with other programs?
Shoot me a DM. No, just kidding. But
No,
kind
don't
of.
bother her. She's busy. She's very busy now.
I'll show
We're
you my
all
Wave
probably-
account. No, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's like you have to take risks no matter what. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur in general, you have to be willing to go outside of your comfort zone. And even if it does fail, like you'll still learn something from it. Like as someone who has gone through programs and spent, 20K plus on programs that didn't get me anything. I don't want to say anything. Like I learned things, but I think that if I didn't have those previous experiences, I still wouldn't be where I am today. And I think it's like if you were to invest in a program, this is the one to invest in. Just because I've been through them all. And I don't trust anybody anymore, and I'll probably be here a while. So I don't know. I think it's just worth taking the risk, even if it's scary.
Yeah. Well, we hope you're here for a while too. We'll be here for a while. We get
Hope
some big masterminds going and get some events going. Hopefully some of the people watching this call can join, scale their business to 10, 20, 30K, whatever it is, and be there with all three of us and others.
So we can end the little conversation on something that gets people thinking. Just give us a little insight, or people watching a little insight. So what are some of the things you learned and implemented here that just changed the business?
Well, first of all, creating and spending ads isn't as scary as it sounds, and it's worth doing. So knowing how to properly put ads together is important to know. You can't just throw something together and hope that it'll work. You got to have a strategy. So that's been a big thing because I've spent ads in the past and it didn't work. This one did. And then what else? Sales, of course. Your closer framework, ACA, just your different frameworks that you have for closing, DM setting, the whole process of sales, and making it not salesy. Because I think that's a big fear for most people is to not be salesy. But I haven't had a single person say, I feel like you're selling me. Maybe one, but out of the thousands. I mean, there's so much. I feel like I could just go on and on. I mean, even mindset wise, it's getting out of your rut and just looking at the facts and the numbers and saying, hey, if you spend this much, you're going to make this much. Okay, cool. So let's spend this much. And it works. So I don't know. I don't really see much risk to doing it at all. But that's just me at this point.
Awesome. Well,
I hope that answers your question.
Faith, appreciate your belief and trust in us and your hard work through the whole thing. I know we got a little bit complacent after we started making a few bucks, and then we were like, all right, come on, you got a lot more in the tank. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, appreciate your hard work and discipline and trust in us, and we're gonna continue to be here to help you grow and to build this thing into a massive company where you're having a lot more than hiring just your second employee here. So very exciting.
Well, we should reconvene at the end of January after I hit 20K and do this again.
25.
You said 30.
Oh, right.
Well, if we do the math, if we just spend more on ads, we can hit 30. So yeah.
If
That's
you spend
awesome.
$3,000 on ads this month, make so much money.
All
Okay,
right,
so let's work on my next call ad then.
Yeah, let's save that for another time. We'll close this one out. All right. Awesome, Faith. Any last thing that you wanna add to that? If not, we're all good.
I think that's it. Besides, if you're on the fence, just do it. That's it.
And if you're a woman looking to lose weight or get in shape with, there you go, without having to count calories or do diets, go hit up Faith. I'll throw her Instagram link in the description as well. So awesome. Well, thanks, Faith, for your time today. I know you're busy just onboarding so many clients and sales calls and helping all your clients making all the money. So we'll let you go.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Faith. Bye, guys.